Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. It's no surprise to you, for anybody who follows me. It's one of the many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day, is because I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live your American dream as well. And we're the greatest fucking nation on earth, so everybody should literally be flying this flag behind them. It's Friday. It's Freight Friday, fucking Friday, whatever the hell you want to call it. But you know what? We're here, but there's still, I'm seeing a lot of posts out there on social media about how, like, essentially they're done for the year. Don't discredit how much you can fucking do over these next 21 or 22 days that are out there. You guys, there is a ton of opportunity. As Ed Milet says all the time, this is separation season, and it's true. Habits don't just miraculously kick in day one on January 1st, because most of us out there in the world are fucking hungover on January 1st. You ain't going to do shit. And then the second rolls around, you ain't going to do shit then either. So again, you guys, habits start today, no matter what. So get out there and run with it. There's a ton of opportunity out there, to say the least, because freight is always moving. No matter what, freight's always moving. Zach Williams, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining in. Let's fucking go. Happy Friday, everyone. If you guys want to become an independent freight agent and take control of your financial future, hit up my man, Zach Williams. Here's your guy over there. Brian Hagan, let's go. Happy Friday. He says, thanks for joining us here, Brian. Whitney Young, what's up? Good morning from the road. Whitney's tuning in over on YouTube, owner operator. He's out there making this world turn for us behind the wheel, and I love it. Thanks for joining in, Whitney. Josh, what's up, brother? It's been a minute since I've seen you. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for joining me here. All right. We got some articles to break down. We're going to do a lane analysis for you guys, as we always do, to help us quote out. But before we do any of that, I got to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub, you guys. VHubApp.com. Brokers, carriers, shippers, it doesn't matter. We all need access to trailers. If you're a small fleet, you should never have to shut your operation down because your trailer's in the shop. And the best part about what VHub has, you guys, is you guys get paid to move these trailers. So think about a phenomenal way to offset the fuel costs and the high repair bills and everything else out there, is you can make some additional money with this. And this is on top of the revenue that you get by loading out the back of that trailer. So what they're working on, Glade Spring, Virginia, going to Delta, British Columbia. You get paid $18.50 US to do that. And again, that's on top of the revenue that you get by loading out that trailer. They also have West Valley City, Utah, going up to Calgary, Alberta, $15.50 US to do that. And then they also have San Diego, California, going to Houston, Texas for $1,000. Available right now, you guys. And again, that's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading out that trailer. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. And just do me a favor. Let them know your boy sent you. Let them know the Freight Coach sent you. They help keep this neon light on behind me every single day. Tracy O. St. Clair, happy Friday. Let's roll. That's right. Cameron Lisk, what's up? Happy Friday to you. Thanks for joining. David K., what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Happy Friday, y'all. We're at day 175 of the Freight Coach Tally. This is the 175th live show that we've done. We're on a fucking roll. We ain't stopping. Sorry, we are not stopping. I yell at my son for saying the word ain't. But, we are not stopping. We're on a roll, you guys, because as always, we're doing this to fundamentally change the industry for the better. This is what I do with this is it's just that subtle reminder that there's some real issues in this industry when it comes down to truck parking, as well as facilities issues. Like, our drivers don't have access to showers and adequate food and stuff. And I don't do this for vanity metrics. I don't do this for vanity metrics. This industry means too much to me. We will be the change. This audience, everybody who tunes into my stuff, we will be the change in this industry. And you'll be able to tie it directly back to us. So we're going to continue to talk about this stuff. We're not going to only talk about it when it's popular out there and everything else, because we need to see actual meaningful change in freight. And yeah, here's also your subtle reminder to please not shoot the messenger that diesel is $4.96 a gallon. right now, nationwide is the average, and it's up $1.30 year over year. Again, I'm not doing backflips like some people are right now saying like, oh, gas is down, from last year at this time, but it's still up fucking significantly over the years. And that has a direct tie in to cost of goods sold and everything else. So I want to see it trend back down. I don't know. I don't have my crystal ball in front of me, but if history repeats itself, which it always does, it's probably not going to drop any lower out there. All right, let's do a little bit of a lane analysis. We're going to go into my, what is this? Fun one. FMCSA's API is still down. We're not at 31 hours. They aren't even pretending to, we are that 31 hours in the FMCSA's API is down, and they're not even pretending to care. How do all of these companies who like sell safety stuff based off of an API integration with the FMCSA, how are they even monitoring their shit right now? That's like what I think about every time when technology comes into play. Like, again, this is why I'm such a massive proponent of when it comes to like insurance and stuff, you guys as brokers of always calling the insurance provider and verifying that the company that you're setting up for a new carrier is actually who they say they are. Check those VIN numbers, you guys, verify that information, take that 5 minutes on the front end. Because literally next week, I'm going to be releasing a podcast with a truck accident witness expert out there. And we talk about this situation, you guys, about not vetting carriers and not doing our due diligence as brokers and how it can literally cost you your company and stuff. So again, like this is just another reason why I'm against software in certain aspects of our job, because we need to be verifying this, especially when it comes to insurance, you guys. There are a lot of people out there who frame good carriers, and it gives a lot of people a bad name. So that's why I'm always about that. And that's why, especially at my tech company, Broker Carrier, that's what we do. We're an operations optimization tool out there. We are there to make our operations solidified, and we'll always make sure that we are calling and verifying, especially in the new setup process, because we want to take those 5 minutes on the front end, you guys, to protect yourself, because I've been in that situation before as a broker. It's not fun. It's not fun to find out that there wasn't valid insurance on something and now you got to pay for it. So yeah, April, what's up? Good fucking morning to you too, April. Happy Friday. Thank you for joining me. Julia, the second best marketer in freight behind me. She's with, I can see. Julia, say it one more time. Put it in the comments. Who's got to follow you? What's your company? Connect with Julia. I appreciate her hustle more than anybody. She is out there fucking pumping her company. And yes, it is definitely forcing us to use stale data that can potentially be up to 72 hours old. That's a very, very accurate point. All right, lane data, lane analysis here. We are going to do my favorite freight type, which is flatbed. We are going to go out of H-Town, aka Houston, Texas, aka Paul Wall, baby. And Mike Jones as well. He's out there. One Call Logistics, Julia says. One Call Logistics. Follow them. Sonny Sharma, good fucking morning to you too as well. Orange Shirt Gang in the house. All right, Houston, Texas, going up to Des Moines, Iowa. Flatbed. Here's what we got. It's currently trending at $2.71 a mile all in, including fuel. And if we're going to pull this lane analysis here, you guys, it was out 30 days ago. It was sitting at $2.60 a mile. 60 days ago, it was sitting at $2.60 a mile. And 90 days ago, it was at $2.70 a mile. So if we're looking at a rolling 90-day period here on a specific lane, and there's a 10 cent per mile variance over that time, and the 90-day mark was the high mark, and it's been sitting for the last 60 days at that same rate of $2.60 a mile, I would argue that it will stay that same rate probably up until the middle of next or late all of next week, and then maybe a little bit into the last week before Christmas. And then you got to be obviously aware of the holiday freight and what the rates will do, because they'll always spike around that time. But again, this rate will probably hold firm through the rest of this year, probably throughout January as well. It might dip a little bit in January, but if you're out there bidding on freight in the outbound Houston market, heading up to Des Moines, Iowa, or into that region, I would hold firm at that pricing, obviously seasonally adjusting for the holiday, and then the slight dip that'll happen in January. So I would run with that and go with that on that. Sorry, that my brain works faster than my mouth sometimes. But yeah, that's your daily lane analysis out there. That's right. Mike Jones, Julia. Who? Mike Jones. Going back to that early 2000s rap, which I'm a massive fan of. 281-330-8004. That's literally not my phone number, so don't call that. That's Mike Jones's phone number. All right, on to the fucking articles for today. Let's see here. We're going to go right into transport topics. We got, title of this article is Shifting Freight Market Compels Change in Driver Recruitment. See, it's funny. I chose this article specifically because there's a lot of people who want to say, oh, there's an 80,000 driver shortage out there. But then you're seeing companies laying off drivers right now and everything else. I don't think there's a driver shortage at all. I think our industry's biggest issue is we have a driver retention issue. And it's got to be fixed. It's got to fix with that. I think that's one thing, and it's going to come down to pay, driver security out on the road and everything else. Are they safe? Do they have a fucking shower? How about we start with that? Anyways, on to the article here. It goes in, a softening freight market has led to a slowdown in recruitment spending across the transportation industry, but experts urge carriers to remain focused on retention efforts, shocking, and continue working to keep a steady pipeline of drivers flowing in. We have seen some of our clients pull back slightly on how aggressively they are recruiting drivers. Priscilla Peters, a VP of marketing and training at Conversion Interactive Agency. However, I wouldn't say it's significant. Those of us who have been working in recruiting and retention for many years know that consistency is key. Turning off the driver lead funnel is never a good idea. Peters said carriers must understand the importance of developing brand preference with drivers, even with slowing down recruitment efforts. She also warned that a slowing freight market can often lead to driver turnover issues, which makes retention important. Even if carriers are slowing down in recruiting, retention efforts should be in full swing. Carriers who strategically focus on both come out winners. I think if you focused on retention and listening to drivers and all of their concerns, because again, it was a couple of weeks back. Again, this is why I need like a Joe Rogan Jamie who can just pull this stuff up, because we broke down this article about the top 10 issues that drivers say that there are versus top 10 issues that the fleets say that there are. So like a management as opposed to the actual driver, they are fucking 80% of the list was different. Two of them lined up, but 80% of that list was different. I think that has a direct correlation with driver retention, because again, your employees who feel valued and heard probably aren't going to leave. There's going to be a subsector of people who leave jobs no matter what, but still. Anyways, Peters also added, technology is also a key component that drives these decisions for carriers. For example, today, carriers can use AI tools to help them recruit. Online job boards, talent.com, found that recruitment spending across job listings in the industry decreased 20% year over year in November. The company saw aggressive recruitment efforts last year, with spending increasing about 90% from July to November, but those levels haven't carried into this year. This is normally our most active time of the year, especially for transportation, said Robert Boersma, VP of operations at talent.com. We like to see a 90% increase from July to November, but this year it's been almost 20%, an 18.5% increase from July to November. Boersma said that these numbers indicate a shift in consumer spending. He noted that home builders and retailers have cut back on shipments across because of inflation and recession's concern, and also that companies understand that things happen and things can change. They need to be as proactive as possible. They kind of feel the pressure coming on, and they're the ones who are making those decisions a lot of the time about how aggressive do I need to be right now. Let me see here. Yeah, and again, you guys, it's very cyclical in this industry. Mark Shedler, senior editor of transport management at JJ Keller. So this isn't surprising that recruiting might be slowing down. It also cited that a recent boost in independent owner operators as one cause, and drivers shifted from company jobs to take advantage of high spot rates. But with decreasing spot rates and high fuel costs, many are returning to fleets. They're ringing the phone instead of carriers having to work so hard to find experienced drivers. There's a little more availability out there, they had said. Yeah, it's, again, I think that if you handled retention of your drivers, you would never be in a driver shortage. Personally, I think keeping your pipeline full, and also I feel like I understand why businesses scale back. Like I get it, but I feel like what we're dealing with in transportation heavily right now was that there was such a demand for people over these last couple of years with the amount of freight that was moving, that these layoffs, I would love to see obscene like massive freight spike that there was. I would like to see employment numbers at that time compared to where they are right now. And again, I don't have the data in front of me, but I would speculate that it's very similar. So I think a lot of the additional employees that were brought on, unfortunately, are finding themselves out, especially ones that were brought in at inflated salaries that just weren't performing, because that's a big thing that people also seem to look over. All right, shifts are also taking place at the ports and everything else. They're having a hard time giving work to drivers. Again, I still think that it's there's a lot of opportunity out there no matter what. No matter what any of this shit says, there's still a lot of opportunity out there. And there is, that's all I can say about that. ttnews.com, shifting freight market compels change in driver recruitment. And as my friend Michelle LeBlanc says, retention is the best recruiting effort you can do for sure. Word of mouth is huge for recruitment. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think that driver retention, you work on retaining drivers. They're going to tell all their friends who are drivers about what a great job you're doing. And they're going to bring all their friends over there, and you're never going to have a shortage of any of that stuff. But again, I feel like it's, when you have employees, when you have people who are on your team and who depend on your efforts to come in and find business for them to keep them busy, that's what we need. Like your sales team should be out there, because again, there's freight that's moving. And I understand that sometimes businesses have to make economic decisions, but you should never, like as a trucking company, you should never have an open seat, because your retention should be that high. That's what I would strive for if I had a trucking company, is high retention numbers. Lewis, what's up, brother? Louis Claudio is in the house. He says, let's go. Louis Montano, what's going on, brother? It's a great day from Rolling Dice Logistics, he says. Michelle LeBlanc says, some amount of our drop and hook employer brand clients have cut Facebook ad spend specifically, but that's due to more drop in the effectiveness of targeting on Facebook job ads and adoption of other platforms, TikTok, and building marketing automation and similar own tools. Yeah, I personally, you guys, I think my gut, no matter what, and again, I'm no fucking expert in anything. I'm just somebody who's literally got all of it on the line every single day to provide for my family and grow my dreams out. I'm always about all on offense and going all in on marketing no matter what. Because brand awareness and getting it in front of as many people as possible is always going to win, especially in uncertain times, which we're in right now. A lot of people are going to go on defense. They're just going to sit back and wait for the storm to pass. And that is always a time, in my opinion, to get fucking aggressive in your approach, because as everyone takes a step back and tries to play it safe, time to stomp on some fucking throats, in my opinion. It's time to, I'm not going to say like be reckless or anything like that, but be strategic. Don't take your foot off the gas. If you have your momentum going right now, go all in no matter what. That's what it's all about. Go all in no matter what on your marketing efforts, your retaining your drivers and everything else. And especially if you're in sales, don't fucking take this as a time to take your foot off the gas and try and play it safe, because that's what a lot of people are going to do. Go aggressive all the time, no matter what. All gas, no brakes, as my friend Brent Orsuga says. All gas, no brakes. All right. Next article, fleetowner.com. Title of this article, Fleets Must Ditch the Earn Your Stripes mentality for new drivers, as nearly every motor carrier and private fleet have experienced in their recruiting programs. It's much more challenging to attract a seasoned driver away from a best-in-class job than it is to court newer drivers and put them on the path toward long-term retention at your fleet. To attract and retain industry newcomers over the past 2 years, however, fleets have had to be aggressive in evaluating and adjusting pay packages for drivers at the lower end of the experience scale with those with 2 years of driving experience or less. Survey from the National Transportation Industry tells a story clearly. Drivers with 1 year experience are now out earning top pay drivers from just a few years ago. That's according to the survey of driver wages. And while the per mile and hourly pay for drivers of all experience levels has shown strong and steady growth over the past 2 years, the momentum of wage growth among drivers at the lower end of experience scale has been the most pronounced. For example, year over year, compared to 2021 fourth quarter, solo drivers with 1 year of experience are earning 5.9% more per mile on average, and that's compared to a 3.2% gain out there. It is a mindset shift toward career path development. It says the takeaway from motor carriers trying to recruit and retain drivers with 1 year experience is clear. This segment of driver pool expects rapid and frequent wage growth, and fleets must be proactive in offering pay progression model that fits these demands. They also must market to those fast wage growing opportunities. The earn your stripes mentality is quickly becoming an ideal of the past. Newer drivers entering the industry, numbering in the hundreds of thousands over the past 2 years, won't abide by that attitude. There are too many opportunities for them to find a job outside of trucking that fits their pay and scheduling expectations. With generational shifts ongoing among trucking workforce and labor market at large, that's trends that's not likely to change. So there's a mindset shift that must take place internally at all levels of your organization to recognize this evolution and respond accordingly. I guess I'm always going to be of the mindset of, if you want to get paid, just fucking perform. If you actually work hard, if you're actually that badass motherfucker that we all like to tell ourselves, you will get paid no matter what. You will get paid and you will earn it. I don't think, again, this is just me. This is isn't what this article talked about at all, but you cannot pander to mid to low level performing employees and pay them because you're afraid to lose them. I would let them fucking walk. I don't agree with the mentality of hiring people for the sake of hiring people, which I think, like, you saw that over these last couple of years, is people were just fucking throwing bodies at roles, paying them inflated salaries. And guess what? Where are they now? They're out of a fucking job. You know? So again, it's like, if you're in that situation and you're out there looking, if you're looking to make money, you're always going to make money. If you're a high performing individual, you always will make money. I don't necessarily agree with paying a fair market rate. I agree with paying your employees and giving them an opportunity to earn unlimited money. That's why at Freight Coach Logistics, we truly have uncapped commissions. I will never cap that ever for any of my employees, because I know the greatest motivator out there, at least in sales, is to fucking make as much money as possible. You know, again, so it's like, I feel like you reward your employees. I believe in merit-based work. If you work hard, you will earn money. No company will ever let you. Well, I can't say no company. Sorry, that's a very broad statement, and I'm trying not to use those. But, you know, I feel like if you're out there and you're commanding a higher wage and you don't perform, like, these are the people that are on the chopping block most times than not. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. It also, you know, motor carriers and private fleets alike experience the most driver churn among their new hires and their strong crossover segment of the industry for newcomers. Drivers with a year of experience or less outnumbered the experienced job seekers by 3-to-1 margin. I personally think, in this regard, if they focus on retaining their drivers, most importantly, that pay will become a thing. And that is, like, again, the pay plans of the past won't work anymore. And I think that's very accurate. Like, paying somebody 30 cents a mile, like, come on, like, that's bullshit. I think we need to pay the job for what it's worth. And if you're paying fair market value, that's out there. Again, I think, like, on the employer part, there's too many people that just don't value their employees. They don't pay them enough money. They don't pay them livable wages. And I think that's where you find that. That article, fleetowner.com, and the fleets must ditch the earn your stripes mentality for new drivers. And just like with every article, you guys, that I break down, I put it up on the YouTube channel, The Freight Coach, as well as the Coffee with the Freight Coach audio only replay of this, which is available on iTunes and Spotify. Go check these articles out, you know, and formulate your own opinion on this stuff. And if you are going to go over to those other platforms and you want to hit subscribe and you want to share it out and rank it, your boy would be very appreciative of it, because that's just how this always will grow, is because if you guys see value in it, your network's going to see value in it. Chris Diaz, let's fucking go from Miami. Pro Transport has been wheeling and dealing for 24 years, he says. Michelle LeBlanc, you are correct. It is never a bad time to go all in. Julia says, everyone wins. Educate and empower your employees, your carriers. We all win. Josh Torgerson says, too many companies throwing money at new hires and not rewarding existing drivers. This inflates recruiting costs, yet they're still bleeding money by not retaining. a good point there. It's a good point. All right. Third and final article we are going to break down on this beautiful Friday is also from fleetowner.com. And this is knowing dangerous truck parking hotspots can help keep fleet drivers safe. And yes, that was also one of the top issues that most drivers had brought up was they weren't feeling safe out there on the road. There wasn't safe and secure truck parking. Finding safe, legal, and legal places to park can be one of the most difficult tasks for professional drivers whose jobs are already full of challenges. New data from video telematics provider Lytx shows the most common risky areas, highway shoulders and ramps in the U.S. where drivers are parking. Every single person in the room knows where you're going to put your, every person in this room knows where you're going to put your head down at night. And you know you're going to be safe when you go to sleep. That's not the same luxury as afforded to the men and women who drive behind the road. That's their number one concern for drivers. That is very true. I'm going to show this heat map here that shows where the unsafe driving is. I don't know if you guys can see that map clearly or not, but the hot spots up there are where the most unsafe areas were here. So if you guys can see that out there, and now I'm going to pull that down so I can continue reading. And I put it in the win column this year because it shows the main motor carrier list and skirns. But so fuck, here we go. This is that list I was talking to you guys about. And let me see. Brewster's harped on the parking problem for years, and it was absent from the motor carrier side of the ATRI's yearly list of trucking issues until this year when it cracked number 10. And it was number one for drivers, and put it in the win column, but it was at number 10. While most of the 70% of U.S. truck freight moves by trucks, there's just one parking spot for every 11 trucks on the road. When truck drivers don't have a designated parking area, place to park, they end up parking on the side of the road near exit ramps, and this isn't safe for drivers out there. And here is a top 20 metro areas for parking off ramp. The Virginia 110 East in Arlington County, I-75 North in Atlanta, I-75 South in Atlanta, New Jersey 70 East in Cherry Hill Township. And again, you guys, this list article will be up there if you guys want to check that out as well. And it also, let's see, parking safety, and it's too early. During its early weeks of deployment through the Lytx lab in October, the trucking technology company gathered data from these incidents to put together the top 20 hotspots that were out there. And then a senior director, Kristen Costas, said for our customers who are using this new feature, it's a way for them to be proactive around these locations within their fleet, for broader commercial driving community to make them aware of these locations that are problematic. And even if you're not a Lytx customer, you can take advantage of this insight and this information, which is always great to see. And then they pulled this from nearly 50,000 truck parking events over 2 weeks. Then again, that top 20 will be out there on the YouTube channel and everything. And yeah, again, it's just another one of those situations. It is, it's the breakdown that's out there between what's important to drivers and what's important to the fleet or the trucking company itself continues to be very far apart. And again, I think that also has a lot to do with retention. All right. Your drivers need to feel heard. And that's probably why people are leaving your organization if you're not listening to any of their concerns. So again, you guys hit that up for that list of 20, the top 20 problematic spots that are out there. This article was from fleetowner.com, and it is knowing dangerous truck parking hotspots can help fleets keep drivers safe. Nick Erdman, what's up? Happy Friday. Keep your cargo secure. Let's fucking go. Thanks for joining on this beautiful Freight Friday. And that's it for today, you guys. The Freight Coach Morning Show. We are the top morning show in transportation. And as always, you guys, if you guys saw value in this, share the show. Subscribe to it if you will. If you guys see value in it, because again, if you guys see value in it, your network's going to see value in it as well. We'll be back next week and every fucking weekday throughout the end of this year. We don't take plays off because that's what you guys are. Because if freight's moving, I'm here talking the shit into the mic and giving you guys the news. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking to you soon.